So it looks like Beyonce is behind Chloe Bailey's recent flop because the streets are saying that Beyonce blackballed Chloe and set her up to fail. This betrayal has left Chloe feeling crushed, and she is now breaking down and spilling the messy tea about her highly anticipated album tanking. Chloe Bailey has not been having a great time in the past couple of days because people just can't get her name out of their mouths since her debut solo album dropped and flopped. Nobody really expected the album to debut at #1 on Billboard Hot 200 or something like that, but nobody really expected that it was going to perform that badly either. The album only sold 10,000 copies in the first week and debuted at number 119 on the Billboard Hot 200, which is kind of low for an artist like Chloe, especially considering the ties that she already has in the music industry. I know that Chloe is a new artist and all that, and this is her first album, so nobody expected a #1 debut, or even a top 10 for that matter. Also, most artists don't get it right from their very first album, and it can take a couple of tries before they get it right. But this is the third album Chloe has put out since she already has 2 successful albums out with her younger sister Halle under their Chloe Halle group, which already has a very strong fan base, so selling 10K is just weird. Also, Chloe is already making a name for herself in the industry and on social media because she's always trending on social media for one reason or the other. But to be fair, social media clout doesn't mean much these days because Saweetie always got people talking about her, and her last project ended up selling only 2,000. But then, Saweetie doesn't have Beyonce backing her like Chloe does, so the fact that Chloe's album flopped like that is just crazy. In case you didn't know, Chloe is signed to Parkwood Entertainment, which is owned by the Beyonce, so she really should have been able to sell more. Her social media clout and the sheer force of having Beyonce supporting her should have done something. But the wild thing is that people believe that the 2 reasons she should have succeeded are the 2 reasons her album failed. The streets are saying that her album flopped because her social media clout kind of worked against her and that she was sabotaged and blackballed by Beyonce herself. Okay, so Chloe is a very visible artist on social media and she's often trending on social media for a whole lot of reasons. But the thing is, she doesn't always trend for the right reasons because people feel like she's not being her authentic self. For example, people feel like she's always going overboard trying to be sexy, even when it's not necessary, like the time she posted this video after getting 4 million followers on her Instagram.
To my 4 million followers and counting, my candy kisses and my clovers, thank you all so much for loving me, and I love you right on back. There's a lot more to come.
I love Chloe, but I had to admit that the video was super cringe and kind of hard to watch because it was not needed. Then there's also the fact that people feel like she's always trying too hard to be like Beyonce. No, scratch that. She wants to be Beyonce, and I can't really fault her for this because everybody wants to be Beyonce. She's like the blueprint of success in the industry. She has 1 million Grammys, and she's a celeb to celebs themselves. But the thing is that people feel like Chloe is copying Beyonce too much and she's not being original. I mean, she even had Beyonce's mom, Tina, in the music video of her song, Have Mercy. Oh, then there's the whole drama thing about her working with Chris Brown on a single from her album. Now, this was honestly a bad PR move from Chloe because he always comes with a lot of controversy because of his history with women. Chloe was dragged by her baby hairs for working with Chris, and I feel like she should have known better because this is not the first time this is happening. Last year, she got dragged when The Game claimed that he had her and Chris Brown on a song together.
Tell me who you're working with, who's on the album with you?
Today I just got a record with Chris Brown and Chloe Bailey done, which is dope.
She got a crazy amount of backlash from this, and I feel like she really shouldn't have put the song forward as a single because it just gave the album a bad rep. So basically, the thing with Chloe is that when people talk about her on social media, they aren't necessarily talking about her music, they're just talking about her. And this brings us to the Beyonce angle here because people felt like B just set Chloe up for failure. I love Beyonce and I think she's one of the greatest artists ever, but I think we can be honest here and admit that her pursuits outside of music haven't exactly been successful. I'm talking about the clothing brand she had with her mom, House of Darion, her Ivy Park brand, and even Parkwood Entertainment. Chloe and Halle are signed to Parkwood, and a lot of people feel like it was a wrong career move for them to sign under an artist that's still very active in the business, especially an artist like Beyonce. Beyonce is super busy, and there's no way she's going to have time to manage another artist because of her crazy schedule. Plus, there's the fact that Beyonce doesn't exactly have a great track history when it comes to managing artists because, well, they kind of all flopped. Well, all except Chloe and Halle, but then Chloe's album doesn't exactly inspire confidence in Beyonce's Parkwood because people are saying that she's starting to go the way of the other artists signed to the label, Ingrid Burley and Sophie Bean. For those who don't know what happened to them, well, they signed Sophie and then told her that she was not ready to start recording yet. They signed her to a 2-year development deal and then dropped her like a hot potato after those 2 years were up. For Ingrid, well, her album was never released by Parkwood Entertainment. In fact, there are only 2 super successful acts under Parkwood, and that's Beyonce and the Carters. Oh, the Carters are made up of Beyonce and her boo thing, Jay-Z, so I guess that we could say that the only successful artist under Beyonce is Beyonce. And people are starting to wonder if Beyonce might just be using Chloe as a placeholder until Blue Ivy is ready to take over the industry, because we all know that Beyonce is setting up Blue to be the next big thing in Hollywood. And according to several fans online, they believe that Beyonce has been known to deliberately sabotage Chloe, and people think that Chloe is just too obsessed with B to see it. Last year, Chloe set up a poll on Twitter for her fans to help her decide which song to release, whether Surprise or For the Night. Fans' votes showed that people wanted her to release For the Night, but then Chloe revealed that Beyonce insisted that she release Surprise instead.
I know what y'all picked about the polls, but when the queen speaks, and that's all I'm gonna say, and that's all that matters to me.
Child, what happened to giving the people what they want? It's crazy that Beyonce made Chloe do what her fans didn't want from her, and people are convinced that this is pure sabotage, because why on earth would she ask her not to do the one thing her fans requested? It's just weird, and at this rate, Blue Ivy is going to be a popping artist before Chloe even gets a chance. And according to insiders, Chloe feels like Beyonce didn't do anything to promote her album and just left her out to dry. For one, the Parkwood Entertainment Instagram page posts more of Beyonce than anyone else, and Chloe allegedly feels like Beyonce could have at least posted about her album at least once on her personal Instagram page. But Beyonce did none of that, and Chloe is starting to feel like Beyonce might not have her best interest at heart. Someone commented, "I would rather someone outright tell me they hate me than sabotage me under the guise of mentorship, how Beyonce doing Chloe." Another person said, "Witchcraft, voodoo, sabotage, whatever you want to call it, Beyonce is definitely working against Chloe Bailey." And this other person tweeted, "Not to be funny, but I really want to know what was the point of Beyonce signing Chloe. Like, was it for a look? So that someone can be under her? I don't get it. Because how do you let your artist drop an album and you don't support it not once, and now she sold 10K? The sad part about this is that Chloe is stuck in a 6-album contract, so she's going nowhere anytime soon, and she is stuck in this mess. And speaking of mess, y'all are going to go crazy over this drama in the next video.